If your business is growing, but you're not able to take that next leap because you're drowning in all the operational stuff that keeps hitting your plate, then this video is for you. Most founders wait way too long to bring in top talented COOs. They keep kicking down the road. Maybe they think they're not ready, or maybe they can't attract the talent, or maybe they have no idea how to do it. So in this video, I'm gonna give you 3 reasons you should start to consider to hire a COO. And I'm gonna walk you through all 3 of those throughout this video. Hey, my name is Brighton. If we haven't met before, I'm the co-founder and CEO here at hiringpros.com, where we specialize in helping service-based businesses and founder-led businesses hire right fit talent. That's all we do every single day. And as a consequence, we've helped hundreds of business owners scale their businesses through hiring top talented people. So let's dive into the video. Every business owner and founder that we end up working with always hits the same walls, especially when they're trying to scale quickly. They become the bottleneck for every decision in their business. And this is often a consequence because we haven't built true systems and hired great people to come in and help actually run the business. Sure, maybe you have people on the team that helped you get to $1 million or 1.5 million, but there definitely hits a point, and you probably might be in it right now, where you're starting to question if the team you have now is the team that's going to take you to where you need to go. Look, if you're trying to scale quickly, you can't afford to wait to bring on the best people, because bringing on the best people and the right people in the right seats is going to help you scale so much faster. You don't take my word for it. Ryan Smith, owner of Qualtrics, or Alex Hormozy, or Cody Sanchez, or Dan Martell, or Benjamin Hardy, they all say the same thing. You have to bring on the best people in the best seats, else you're not going to be able to scale, because you'll keep being the bottleneck. And look, if you're fine being the bottleneck and you're content with plateauing in your growth, that's fine. But if you're serious about scaling and you actually want to build something amazing that's bigger than you, then you need to start to bring on the right people. So let's dive into it. Here's 3 reasons that you may need to consider bringing on a COO or operator, integrator, whatever you want to call them. So reason number 1, you should consider bringing on a COO is if you are the bottleneck for every single decision. Look, I've been there before, where I was building a business, whether it was for ego, for myself, or it was because I didn't know how to delegate better, or maybe I wasn't a good enough leader, whatever it was, I was building a business where every single decision had to come back to me. And my team would bring all these things to me, and they would just bring their problems. I would give them solutions. They'd go do it. They're really like glorified ticket order takers, like at Starbucks. They would go do the thing, and then maybe they'd report back and say, okay, the thing's done, now what? And they just keep coming back, and they want you to tell them exactly what to do, how to do it. Tell you what, that is a miserable way to live. I've been there. I built a business like that, and it sucked, to be candid with you. And so if you're dealing with that, where you're the bottleneck of every single decision, you're going to be absolutely miserable. It's like being the quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and trying to do all 3 positions at the same time. Here's the reality. If you ever want to do anything and actually win any games, you can't do all 3. You have to specialize in one position. So just be the quarterback, or just be the receiver. Heck, just be the coach if you want to just be the coach, but you can't be all at one time. So if you can't disappear for 48 hours without the business stalling, you're overdue for a COO. Reason number 2, you should consider bringing on a COO or an operator, whatever you want to call them. The systems that took you from 500,000 up to $1 million aren't going to be the same systems that take you from 1 to 5 or 5 to 10 or whatever. They say new levels, new devils. Well, oftentimes, as a founder myself, you're going into uncharted territory. And if you haven't done it before, you're going to have a lot of what we call tuition, mistakes that you're going to make along the way. And if you're serious about scaling quickly, one of the best investments you can make is bringing on talent that maybe has already actually experienced that growth before, and you give them a pathway to be able to do it again with a really great incentive plan. But yeah, you go back, you're 500K, you're going up to $1 million, the business grew, but maybe the operations system didn't. Maybe you're just going at it like a violent attack of effort. But if you're starting to work more hours a day to keep up with the growth, you're not really you're not going to be able to keep up with it. It's going to lead to burnout. It's going to lead to this bottleneck syndrome that's going to continue to stagnate and plateau your business, which you probably know. So if you're dealing with this, you're constantly firefighting, you've outgrown your org chart, you have inconsistency in delivery because on one day you're needing to go do all the marketing and the sales, on the next day you're jumping into fulfillment, and it's just like this up and down roller coaster of what you do every day, and it depends on who hit your inbox or hit your Slack channel or whatever. It's probably time to consider bringing on a COO, okay? Because when you bring on a legit COO, like a legit operator, they turn chaos into repeatability and scale and systems. Come on and they help make your team better. They elevate the floor of what's expected. So one thing you should consider if you're a founder yourself is that operations debt is just as real as financial debt, and it compounds. Okay, the more you stay in it, the more you're leaving on the table because you're the bottleneck, you're preventing the business from growing. So you need to be able to bring on great talent. Number 3 is you spend your time in the business instead of on the business. Okay, so if your calendar is filled with op stuff, client calls, fulfillment this day, and you're running off to help this customer the next day, and then next thing you know, you're at your kid's soccer game and you're getting calls from customers and they're like, I need help, and no one else can go and do it but you're probably stuck in this operations fulfillment hamster wheel, and you're never going to be able to get out of it unless you bring on good talent. Okay, so that's just one thing. If you're avoiding strategic work because you're buried in logistics, you feel like you can't find time to think, to breathe, to process, to pathway find. If your opportunities pile up because execution is at capacity, if you're afraid to bring on more customers today, like if you can't bring on 10, 20 new customers in the next month because you're the one that has to go fulfill it, you're probably working too much in the business. A COO frees up the founder's time to work on what they do best, which oftentimes is being the visionary, being the person who's marketing and getting out there and championing, finding new partners, new pathways to continue to grow and scale the business. I'll tell you what, from personal experience, it's really, really hard to shift from being a firefighter all day to being a strategic pathway finder. You can't do both at the same time. And so if you really want to scale quickly, you're going to want to make sure that you bring on a fantastic operator that's going to be able to take those things off your plate so you don't have to work so much in the business and you can work more on the business. Look, your business can't grow past the constraints you tolerate. And the biggest one is usually you and your ability to get out of the way. So these 3 signs that we've talked about, they're the signal to start to move on and bring in someone else to help you. Do not ignore them, else you could be leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table, if not millions, by procrastinating this decision. So step 1, if you've dealt with this, you see the 3 reasons. Here's step 1, is you should probably do a calendar audit or an audit at least of your time, energy, and what you've been doing for the last 2 to 4 weeks. If you find exactly where you're spending your time and you're finding that you're spending 50, 60, 80% of your time, 90% of your time fulfilling and being the ops person, imagine how much more ROI you could bring to your business if you were using that same time, but on being the strategic founder of the business instead of being the operator in the business. Okay, so if you do an audit of your calendar and you're starting to identify there's some real things here where I'm just spending my time doing $10 tasks, I'm running around fulfilling all the customers, you're leaving a lot on the table. Number 2 is you need to start to document the chaos, meaning you need to start building processes and systems. I love Dan Martell's methodology, the camcorder method. You're already doing this stuff, so turn on a Zoom clip, record you just doing it, and just talk out loud so that you can start to build a process. If you don't already have one, an assistant is a great place to go where you can just do these camcorder methodologies. They can grab those, or even ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever large language model you're using, you can grab those things, plug it in, and it'll start to help you build processes. That's a great place to start. But eventually, if you're as busy as you probably are, then you're probably like overwhelmed at the idea of even going and doing the camcorder method and building processes and organizing the chaos. That's going to be really, really tough. So instead, or another step that you need to start to take is you need to really just start to define the real COO, what you need, exactly what's going to be great for your business. I call this creating like roles, goals, and metrics. If you were to bring someone into the business and they were going to be in this role, what are the different hats that they would need to wear? Are they a leader in one hat? Are they an operations savant in another one? Are they a KPI wizard? What are they? And what are the key roles that you need them to come in and fulfill? Then you get super, super clear on exactly how they actually fulfill those roles. And then what are you going to do to measure success? That's the metrics part. What KPIs, if you brought in a COO today, how would you know if they were successful in 6 to 12 months? What metrics would be the leading and lagging indicators to tell you, oh yeah, I absolutely nailed this hire. They're a fantastic fit. They did exactly what I wanted. Make sure you can tie it to a number, because a great A player, and especially a great COO, is going to want to be data-driven along with you, and to really measure their own progress and making sure that they're working towards that same goal with you. Okay. Step 4 is start building a hiring pipeline. Now, if you're slammed and you're doing all these operation stuff 50, 80% of your time, and you're starting to build processes, and now you've built out this role, now you can actually start to kind of build a hiring pipeline. The simplest way to do it, build a job description, jump in GPT, have it do it, get it posted on anywhere you can, if that's what you've decided to do to start hiring someone. But also reach out to your personal network, let people know you're looking for someone. And then social media is super powerful. If you have any sort of following, making sure you create some sort of compelling vision of why someone should want to come work with you. I'll tell you what, it's really hard if you're not already posting content on some level to just jump into it. But it goes a long, long ways. If you can communicate your vision and why someone should want to come work with you and your need for it and what gets people excited about it, then you're going to be in a good spot. So here's the deal. If you want any help in hiring an operator in this realm, you can go ahead and comment down below blueprint, and we'll send you our operator hiring blueprint. This is the exact 10-page formula that we use to help founders just like you hire a right fit operator. So you can comment down below. And I promise you, if you go through some of these processes, when you hire an A player, it says in Science of Scaling by Benjamin Hardy, he reports that an A player hire helps you see over a 16x ROI. Okay, over a 16x ROI. There's probably nothing else in your business that you could invest in that will give you a faster and higher ROI than fantastic people, A players, top talent. So if you found this video helpful, please go ahead, give it a like and subscribe, and make sure you comment down below if you have any questions, or if you want that blueprint, comment blueprint, and we'll make sure to send you over our operator hiring blueprint totally for free. Happy to help.